Nailed it.
And that is a direct quote from Old Ned.
Old Ned. This isn't April Fool's.
It's not.
It's too close to home. This is Jen.
This is Becky.
Welcome back. Oh my God, it's been welcome back to the same old place that we.
I know y'all missed you for singing. Well, it's back live for y'all.
You're welcome. We had an extended break. We refreshed
Sabbatical.
ourselves. By refresh, I mean lose our minds.
Yeah, a lot going on. But we're back on course.
Some bad, some good. But here we are for your listening pleasure. And like Becky said, we're going to talk about Old Ned today.
Yeah, we're going to bring it back on a fun note with a cryptid.
Our favorites.
Before we get into the sad and dark and gloomy episodes that we have coming for you.
You know, that's what it's like meeting us. Like, you have the fun stuff up front, and then you get to know us, and then we're like, let me tell you about this murder.
And all the deets.
The ones you probably don't want, where you're going to go,
oh, yeah. Because my next one that I'm doing is,
y'all, that's going to be a good one.
People are going to be like, really, Becky? And I'm going to be like, really?
You ready for more?
So on that note, we're going to start with the fun one. This one is about Old Ned. Old Ned is a fabled creature of Lake Utopia located in Charlotte County, New Brunswick, Canada. Eh?
Eh?
I should have put in some, like, a boot, about, out. I don't even know. Look, let me.
What's that a boot?
There we go. I'll leave the Canadian to Jennifer. When she has questions, she'll do it in her full-on Canadian. No pressure.
No pressure. Well, shit. I'm trying to be French Canadian today.
Lake Utopia measures approximately 7 kilometers. Yeah, I use Canadian.
Wasn't there a
system.
TV show that was like Utopia or something that just came out not long back? It started with an E.
Well,
Which Utopia starts with a U. But
okay,
I get,
okay.
but you get what, like, it starts like sounds like that.
Maybe.
Has nothing to do with this. Listen, nothing's changed about us, guys. If there's any comfort there, still.
We've only made it one sentence in and already digressed.
Already off track. Sorry about that.
So anywho, it's approximately 7 kilometers in length. And
wait, kilometers is how much miles?
Oh, I didn't convert.
It's all made up in Canada, okay?
Exactly. It's all made up measurements anyway.
Who uses the metric system?
I think JJ's over there giving you a...
Yeah, we do have a special guest today
in the studio.
We are not going to just roast JJ like we normally do, but we're going to roast him in person.
So anywho, he'll be over there keeping our time and laying
I'm gonna need you to
knowledge on us. Anywho,
tell me about the new D&D movie.
So it's approximately 7 kilometers in length and has a varying water level dependent on the resources being directed toward the... Go ahead, JJ. Tell me one more time how to say that.
He's like, I done lost it.
Maga. Come on. For real, I don't know how to say it.
Come on.
Magagodovic River Hydroelectric Dam. Lake Utopia is the hub of a cottage area, and both year-round residents and summer vacationers take advantage of the lake for swimming, boating, and fishing. The lake is surrounded by mixed Acadian forest, and its shoreline has been traditionally dotted by both rustic camps and large summer homes. However, over the last decade, an increase in year-round home development has occurred. The lake has 6 islands, which are privately owned. How would you like to have a privately owned island?
Besides Jimmy's receding hairline?
Do you see them both just shaking their heads at us?
They love each other so much.
Privately owned and situated with seasonal cottages. During the winter months, much of the lake completely freezes. So there's a little bit about this lake that Old Ned lives in. While this lake sounds like an idyllic vacation spot for your family or a romantic getaway with your lover, be warned. The lake also belongs to Old Ned.
Is he like the creepy pedophile that lives on your street or
Ooh,
something?
God.
Like, y'all don't go near that house now. That's where Old Ned lives.
It does sound like that, huh? The Lake Utopia monster, also known as Old Ned, is a lake monster that allegedly inhabits Lake Utopia in New Brunswick, Canada. Legends of Old Ned predates the European settlements. Old Ned's fame began back in the late 1700s. We going way back with this. When local... I really forgot to put my pronunciations outside these words. I don't know. Come on, JJ, help me out here. Micmac?
How's it spelled?
M-I-K-M-A-Q.
Mekamek?
There we go. Passed on the story of a group of native hunters being chased in their canoes by a gigantic lake creature to the newly arrived Europeans. Since the arrival of Europeans to the area in the 18th century, the story has continued, with new sightings being reported every 3 to 5 years. That's a key thing, every 3 to 5 years. Okay. The creature has been described as bulky, 20 plus feet in length, having a large head, being reddish brown or dark red in color.
Listen, he's still beautiful if he's bulky, okay?
He is.
Being bulky doesn't mean you're ugly.
It doesn't mean you have to put your settings at 5.
Exactly.
He's still beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Cryptozoologist, which we all know from previous episodes I've said is my dream job.
You mean you're not a cryptozoologist? I mean,
Doesn't pay enough.
Doesn't pay enough.
No, I believe the salary right now for a cryptozoologist is $0.00.
Yeah. And a whole lot of paranoia.
Yes. And then you just have to buy all your cryptozoologist equipment out your own pocket and you're not making any money. So,
bro, what kind of equipment do you think they have?
Oh,
do you think that maybe like somebody's over there making like, I'm going to fuck up all these. I'm going to take all their money. I'm going to put this crystal in this box and be like, you shake this and that's how you find the Yeti.
Well, first of all, you have to have a large camera with poor quality to catch Sasquatch.
Right. We're talking like 1995 quality, like
on the shoulder.
Like pay-per-view vision, but when it's scrambled.
Yes, exactly. Those aren't cheap, my friend.
No.
They're not cheap.
No.
So cryptozoologist Norma Stewart claims that the last sighting of the Lake Utopia monster reported to her was in 2000. So this motherfucker been around for a long time.
But not since TSA's arrival?
No.
That's horrible.
The last sighting of the creature reported to the newspapers was in 1996. She believes that the creature travels back and forth between Lake Utopia and the Atlantic Ocean.
I was really hoping you were going to say back and forth through time. And then I was like, oh, shit.
He's also a time traveler. Unfortunately, womp womp, he's not.
Oh, okay.
He just goes between the lake and the ocean.
Oh, okay.
It's his summer home every 3 to 5 years.
I summer in Canada.
But only every 3 to 5 years because my job as a sea monster doesn't pay well.
Like, what do I look like? A millionaire? Do I look like Bigfoot?
I'm not. Not a single picture of me has been in the paper. Or has it?
Dun, dun, dun.
They believe that he possibly comes every 3 to 5 years for breeding or a feeding cycle. So him and his honey meet up every 3 to 5 years.
I would think it would be more frequent if it was for breeding. I mean,
some people don't put out.
You're looking at her.
Stewart also notes that the creature loves to bask and is never vicious either. He's sweet.
It's us. We love to bask, and I have never known you to be vicious.
I've never known you to be vicious.
Thank you.
Sometimes, I swear to God, you like float off the ground like an angel.
Listen, I was compared to William Wallace this week, okay? So.
And I'm like, Jimmy, why are you being so mean? She's a floating angel.
A fucking angel.
He just drives me crazy sometimes. Doesn't appreciate all of the greatness that you have.
Exactly. Thank you. I feel seen finally, okay? Finally.
Although Old Ned may have started out as a shy guy, like mine over there.
Oh, no wonder why you wanted to write a story about him.
But it wasn't long before he began putting in appearances during the early thaw. Some speculated that the thinning ice was what drew him inshore after a cold winter. Others felt Old Ned was simply biding his time, setting his own schedule for a grand entrance. Maybe that's what JJ's doing. He's so shy because he's just biding his time to really come out of his cocoon.
I'm coming out. I want the world to know.
I hope he plays that song when he does. When he did pop up, folks were quick to describe the beast, each in their own fashion. Some said Old Ned was at least 30 feet long, though the commonly accepted length is closer to 12 feet.
Sounds like a man.
Doesn't it? Exactly.
I am definitely 30 feet long. That bitch is 12 at most on a warm day.
In good lighting. With the head the size of an old-fashioned bathtub, nowadays, I know.
What a unit of measurement.
I know, right?
You know, that bitch looks like a bidet. Size.
Nowadays, though, he's cited as having a head of horse-ish dimensions.
Oh, okay, so Jessica Parker. Got it.
Yes. Picture her head. A few brave witnesses stayed close enough to report a mouthful of sharp teeth, with one even taking note of blood dripping from each and every tooth. He has a slender, I'm sorry, guys, I'm being Jennifer today. Unundating body that sweeps along semi-submerged. Most folks described Old Ned as covered in dark red scales, but even here, there was some debate as to his body color. What's even more debate is the terms of what exactly Old Ned is.
So, I mean, do we have to genderfy him? Like, are we putting a label on this? I think he should be allowed to be whatever he wants to be in the moment.
Thank you. How very PC of you.
I try.
Some well-documented Old Ned sightings over the years. Sightings. 1867. Sawmill workers claimed to see something 30 feet long and 10 feet wide thrashing in the lake, with similar reports over the following days. But after a few days, things went quiet. 1968. A St. Croix carrier says he and one other witness saw the monster while out fishing. Soon after, in October of the same year, Harper's Weekly ran a story saying the monster, or as they called it, wonderful fish. That's what I'm talking about.
I like that. I like
inclusive.
That. Very inclusive.
Was killed and
I just like how you just sigh and then your eyes close and you're like, this is motherfucker.
Passamaquoddy Bay.
Sounds like you hit it. I mean, I wouldn't have told any different.
Think right on the head, right?
Right there.
Linking it with Lake Utopia. While it was described in the article as a mysterious sea serpent, it was also described as having a dorsal fin and flat tail, both of which sharks have. The Harper's article included a picture, an artist's illustration of the sea monster because they didn't have their Bigfoot camera.
Damn it, man.
Which looks like a man-sized shark with dog-like legs.
That sounds like something Camilla drew.
Exactly. Look at my shark, Mom.
I don't know about them legs, though.
It looks like Old Ned to me.
Look, it's Old Ned.
Sea monster, indeed. The bizarre, wonderful fish in the Harper's Weekly article was likely a basking shark, the second biggest shark in the world. The basking shark looks pretty terrifying, but it is harmless to everything but plankton, and it is very slow-moving and lethargic.
Me too.
Same. To mate, the male basking shark has two claspers on the lower side of its body, which are more or less twin penises.
Oh my God, now I need to see this. Basking shark. Goggle never let me down. Basking shark. Oh my God.
Do you see his twin penises?
No. They're not focusing on the penis. It's that big old mouth. But the dorsal, I see. That's like a reject. I bet you his mama and daddy were cousins. Just saying.
So the basking shark has the twin penises, which lead up to my favorite thing I will ever write in a podcast episode, which potentially could have been mistaken for legs by the Harper's Valley illustrator. So he had two penises so big, they thought they were legs.
Listen, no man would be prouder.
Right?
Well, you thought these were my legs?
Nah, bitch.
Nah, this is my dick.
Two of them.
It's called big dick energy. You're welcome.
1872 natives describe a terrifying monster with a large head and bloody jaws following their canoe. It would be almost 20 years later before another sighting of Old Ned. In 1981, legendary botanist, historian, and cartographer William Francis Ganong went and interviewed people who had seen the monster. He spoke 5 languages and later went on to become a professor at Harvard.
I thought you said the monster spoke 5 languages. And I was like, God damn.
So you mean to tell me he speaks 5 languages and he has 2 penises? Is he married?
What kind of... You don't even need to have money. I'll pay.
Is he single?
Well, shit, I'm lying. I ain't whatever you put out for the man I married and he got 1 penis.
True. If you have 2 come at me, I'm like, all right.
I'm going to need you to stop.
Bring it down.
Keep them dorsal fins away from me. Keep them legs.
Keep them claspers over there. In his record, in his notebook, a description of the monster provided by a lumberman who claimed to have seen it 20 years prior. It was dark red in color. The part showing above the water was 20 feet long and as big around as a small hog's head. It was much like a large eel. You see all the different descriptions. You got a bathtub head,
that's
a
just
horse
my
head,
dick.
a hog's head.
I too call my dick a hog's head, okay?
This must be exactly what police feel like when they there's a crime and there's a bunch of people and they go to interview them all and they're like, God damn it, every motherfucker says something completely different. This bitch said his head looked like a bathtub.
All right, now we're going to have to decide which one of these people are 1096 and which one of these people are actually normal and I can understand and listen to.
Oh, they're all 1096.
They're all 1096. That's it.
It's a wrap. This is going in the cold case file. 1969, the Saint John Evening Times Globe reports on an interview with Miss Fred Millkip Sr., who said she saw a large creature 18 years earlier. It looked like a huge black rock. It moved up and down the lake, boiling and churning the water, making great waves. And I just clutched my pearls. She didn't say the last part. I just added that.
Clutch. Big circle. It's around, you know what I mean? Circle life right here.
Right here. In 1982, Sherman Hatt says he and his family saw a large creature that looked like a submarine coming out of the water with spray on both sides. It was about 10 feet long and put me in mind at the back of a whale. In 1996, Roger and Lois Wilcox were canoeing on the lake when they saw ripples break the placid surface 100 meters away from them. It was heading towards Cannonball Island, a common monster spotting site. Wilcox reports the monster as being 40 to 50 feet long, undulating upward, not sideways. So, facts or clues about Old Ned. There are 6 islands on Lake Utopia, and the sightings of the monster were consistently close to one island, which was perhaps the monster's home. It's called Cannonball Island, and its name is also very literal. During the darkest days of the Second World War, the Canadian government developed a plan to train 133,000 pilots from all over the Commonwealth and Canada before sending them to Britain. Hundreds of buildings and dozens of military bases were constructed to train these pilots, and one of them was close to Lake Utopia. This Air Force base, RCAF Station Penfield Ridge, had 40 different buildings and was specifically for training bomber pilots. The pilots' chosen target to practice bombing was Lake Utopia's Cannonball Island. So, with the bombings... Okay. Sorry, guys.
Listen, you really are pulling Jennifer today. Be like,
I am.
Hold on.
It's a lack of sleep.
It's like, listen, y'all, she's going on, like, this is like 32 hours now, plus probably, right? The fact that you are
24.
this witty, this fucking brilliant, I'm just saying. Saying. A fucking
Thanks for
goddess.
seeing me, Jennifer. Thank you.
I stand for it.
So, now that I know what I'm saying. So, would all of the bombings have ended Old Ned's life, and that's why there were no more sightings really of him? Or if he ever did exist, did the bombings and chemicals and debris only possibly mutate a creature that already inhabited the area? Which is actually, like, legit could happen, because we all know that they weren't regulating what was in them bombs or nothing. And
they don't even regulate where these bombs. There are missing nuclear bombs in this world right now. Like, they lost it like a quarter in their pocket.
Exactly. So it's not far-fetched to believe that some of the shit they were dropping in the water and on the island could have mutated creatures in there to have a bathtub head. Who fucking knows? There's always been one
Bathtub
question.
head. It's like the best. You bathtub head.
That's what I'm gonna start calling people.
If you know, you know. You know.
There's always been one question that can't be answered. What is Old Ned? There have been the usual theories offered up along with those known local wildlife. Some say Old Ned is just a mistaken giant sturgeon. God, I'm such a Jennifer today. Measuring
There are worse things. You could be a bathtub head.
Measuring 4 feet long and larger, covered in armor-like plates and noted for their elongated bodies, these fish, one common in the St. John River, might seem like good candidates for the mistaken identity as lake monsters. But the sturgeon is a notably calm fish, docile enough around boats to have been fished nearly to extinction in some regions, and sturgeons don't have teeth. So we're going to throw out that theory. It's probably not a sturgeon. Could be. Maybe he got mutated by some bombs. Okay.
I mean,
it is possible that the Lake Utopia monster was indeed a giant eel. It is hypothetically possible that a freshwater eel could grow to a very large size, especially in a lake with lots of limestone tunnels and deep canals like Lake Utopia has.
Oh, to hide in. I was like, wait a second. What's wrong with limestone? I grew up in Florida. All that shit is limestone.
Just for him to go in and hide and grow. And
I thought there was like, oh, is that the radiation? Oh my God, it fucks.
That's what's wrong with
Not
you.
a scientist, obviously.
No. Even if we account for some exaggeration or misremembering of the size of the monster, because let's face it, we're humans and we exaggerate size. Talking to you guys. Yes, I'm talking to the male listeners right now. Certain types of eel can be pretty monstrous themselves, like the conger eel, which can grow up to 3 meters long and 300 pounds. Conger eels are very aggressive, have snake-like heads, and lots of teeth. A weird conger eel fact is that they have been swimming on their sides, resulting in the body appearing as humps in the water as they swim. So like, the Nessie.
Yeah.
They're not freshwater fish, though, so they would not live for long in the lake. However, 2 conger eels were found dead on the shores of Lake Ness, so perhaps the eels wandered in the lake to die. Another popular theory for Old Ned is that of a giant sea turtle. But come on, I'm not even going to entertain the idea of this one. And that's where I stopped the research on that one.
You're like, okay, sea turtle. Okay.
All right, I'm just going to let y'all know.
Now you're just making shit up.
Yes. I'm going to let y'all know that was a theory, but that's as far as I went into that
You're
theory.
a silly goose. Get back in the pond, okay?
Because honestly, if a sea turtle has bloody teeth and chased a canoe, then I have a whole new set of irrational fears unlocked.
It was most definitely some radioactive materials because I ain't never, like even snapping turtles don't have.
And I cannot even dream about that tonight, okay?
I don't have enough medication.
So that leaves us with Old Ned as an unidentified water creature, such as a whale or undiscovered fish species. My favorite, due to my love of dinos and all things dino related, is that he's a leftover prehistoric water mammal. Fingers crossed.
That's how you say that, leftover. Like, that's a nice way of going, he's the reject that somehow survived.
Is he the reject, or is he the super superior family member of the species that outlived everything?
That's true. I mean, you can't say that somebody on a losing NFL team is really a loser when they're driving home in a Porsche.
Thank you.
Who's the real smart people here?
So that's
bathtub heads, like
really where I got my fingers crossed, guys. We do still have dinos on this earth. The dino people came to Emma's school with some kind of dino show or whatever, and there was a flyer on the counter, and I picked it up last night before I went to work, and I was like, hold up. How come nobody told me that for $8 I could buy a replica Velociraptor claw?
Like, who the fuck has been holding this from me?
I would have 8 of them already.
Can you imagine, like, how, like, like Cardi B and all them have like really long nails, and they're always doing like the asthma or like, let me tip tap you over there with 5 raptor claws. Like you pissed off at a patient. Like, do what now? Clip, clip, clip.
Oh my God, stop trying to make all my dreams come true.
Bitch, I know what to give you for your birthday this year. And Christmas.
I was going to say, if one of you hoes in this room don't buy me a replica,
I'm not going to just get you the hands. I'm going to give one for every one of your toes. Because you a clever girl.
Thank you. I'm going to be the queen I am.
They'd be like, what's wrong with that bitch?
That's okay. I'm all right with that. People say that already, and I don't have a velociraptor
Think
claws.
about it. If it's going to dissuade people from talking to me, who's the real loser?
Exactly. Our last option is that it's just an imaginary monster. But me personally, I don't like to call any cryptids imaginary because as soon as you do that, the cryptid's going to come and he's going to let your ass know he ain't a joke.
Mm-hmm. So, I've seen horror movies, okay? I know how this works. They'd be like, there is no Bigfoot. Next fucking scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Motherfucker ripping over in your tent, taking your woman.
Just like Candyman. I'm not going to say he doesn't exist, but I'm also not going to go in the bathroom and say his name 3 times.
Yeah. I'm just going to play the odds here and say, no, thank you.
Exactly. So we're not going to say Old Ned doesn't exist because I don't need any other irrational fears unlocked.
No.
JJ says all the time, great, another new irrational fear of yours.
At least once a week, someone would be like, let me tell you what happened to me. I'd be like, what happened? They'd be like, girl, X, Y, Z. They're like, oh, fuck, why the fuck would you even tell me about that? Why would you? Now I'm going to be dreaming about this shit. Now I'm going to be worried about this.
Exactly. So we'll wrap it up by saying, I'm going to let you all make your own judgment on what you think Old Ned is. And if you ever go in the bathroom and say Candyman's name 3 times, holla at your girl. Let me know if he's real.
I want to say, is it true to film? Like, I want to know. Because I ain't doing it.
So my sources were, of course, Wikipedia, cryptids.fandom.com, and backyardhistory.ca, Old Ted, New Brunswick Sea Monster.
Old Ted, New Brunswick. Old Ted, New Ted. Is this like a How I Met Your Mother? Like, his name's Ted.
His name is Ned.
Ned. Oh, sorry. Okay, then. Ned Flanders, very much like The Simpsons. Hey, I'll twist it. Heidi ho, neighbor. It does sound Canadian, does it not?
Heidi ho.
Heidi ho, neighbor.
So that was just a fun way to get back in the groove with us. Welcome y'all back without just going straight into murders and dismemberments and...
I mean, we know you like that kind of stuff, but...
Samesies.
Yeah. I'm no longer employed, so I will be going back to writing because retail sucks. I ain't about it no more. Becky's still doing her awesome thing. Buying a new house. Will not be sharing the address, guys. For all those stalkers out there, we see you. We appreciate you, but please keep it at a distance.
Best disclaimer ever. Never heard a better one than that. Ever in my life. Deadass. Mark the date.
She does not live in Pasadena. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Did you think I got him? You think I tricked him?
Just put out there I live in the 5th ward. That'll keep people away. If you don't know, come visit me.
If you know, you know.
You know, if you know. If you don't, come on now.
I had to tell somebody about how what are those spinners on the cars, that the Slab Life or whatever in Houston, where they have those Cadillacs and they have these long cone hubcaps.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And they were like, they really do that? I'm like, let me tell you about the anxiety I have when I'm on I-45 trying to go through downtown Houston and one of those cars come really close to me.
I feel like they should have the sign in the back that says wide load, like the truck, so that I know to go 2 lanes over.
That's big dick energy. You know what I mean? So, of course, we're going to start coming back every week. Next week, we're going to start on a little bit of a historical piece before we get into some really dark shit.
Really dark.
We will be going back active. It is Happy April Fools. This is no joke. We're back in black. Not as cool as AC/DC though.
No, unfortunately not.
Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. Check out our merch Definitely send us your own Too Close to Home stories. I have enjoyed the shit out of the things that people have told me. We need to do another listener episode because I have a whole bevy of those.
Yay.
So maybe that'll be our mind leech. Come after that series that you are working on. So we gonna need it.
Oh, yeah, we're going to need it after that one.
But until next time,
stay safe.
Keep your head on a swivel.
And don't bring it too close to home unless it's Old Ned swimming in Jennifer's future pool.
Yeah.
And then come on down, Old Ned.
Come on, bathtub
and
head.
Please be a prehistoric dinosaur that survived.
Fingers crossed. That would be very depressing if like our Jurassic Park is like literally turtles. And they have taped on teeth.
Thanks for bumming me out, Jennifer.
Let's just imagine it's taped on teeth. They're like, look how vicious he is.
I'm not impressed, Jennifer. I love dinosaurs and you're really bringing me down.
It's what Jimmy tells me all the time. Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode of Too Close to Home, don't forget to rate and subscribe to us on most platforms. Follow us on our social media at Too Close Home Pod on Facebook, at Too Close Podcast on Instagram, or if you have your own Too Close to Home experience, shoot us your story at tooclosetohome@yahoo.com. Thanks for listening.